Today I am reviewing Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze. Welcome back to Comics Are Dope. I'm BJ Kicks, and today I'm giving you a review and an overview. We'll do a flip through of a brand new original graphic novel from Titan Comics. This is Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze. It's an original graphic novel fully authorized and sanctioned by the Jimi Hendrix estate, and it's written by Mellow with DJ Ben Hameen, with art by the legendary artist Tom Mandrake. This book is beautiful. It's out in comic shops everywhere right now. This hardcover, though it is slim as far as content is concerned, because it's just, one original graphic novel story. What is this? Somewhere around 190 pages or something like that. So it's a relatively thin book. It's got a cover price of $30, but what you might not recognize or realize is that this is not just a standard size comic book. This is actually oversized. So nice oversized hardcover. I really like that. This book is awesome. So I'm going to give you my quick TLDR thoughts. This, as long as my face is on the screen, is 1000% spoiler free. And then if you watch the overview, then of course there might be mild spoilers because you're going to see the art, but I'm going to keep everything generally spoiler free. Before we get too far into this review, I gotta send a huge thanks to the folks at Titan Comics for supplying this copy for me to review and showcase for you guys. So this book is awesome. It's, like I said, it's a fully authorized and sanctioned by the Jimi Hendrix estate. This is an original graphic novel. It is not an autobiography or a biography, because an autobiography would be written by Jimi Hendrix, and that's impossible at this point. But this is not like a straight up biopic comic or anything like that. This takes Jimi Hendrix and makes him like a cosmic spacefaring hero. And the way it's done is really, really cool. So I'll just show you a couple of like the opening pages for those of you who do not want to be spoiled at all. But Jimi Hendrix is like a cosmic spacefaring touring musician. And basically, as he's touring the galaxy, he learns of injustices going on a particular planet and decides that he's got to step in and take some action and stop the mistreatment of these people, while he's on a journey of his own to continue to refine his sound, find a new sound, and find sort of renewed purpose in the things that he's doing. It is an amazing ride. I cannot say enough great things about Tom Mandrake's art. Every page on this is beautiful. It's beautifully colored as well. So lots of really great stuff going on. So my spoiler-free review thoughts, this book, 8, 9, 10 out of 10 is amazing. It's a great book. I don't know if that rating holds up. I mean, I gave you 3 different ratings. All 3 I agree with. They're great. The art really does set this book apart. But when I talk about like the graphic novel, the construction on this book, the quality of the print, just sets this thing over the edge. This book is a sight to behold, and it feels like a steal at just $30 retail. So buy the book. It's amazing. Like, it's great. And it's already out. It's at comic shops now. It's on Amazon now. It's in the book market and the direct market. So grab this book before it sells out, because if you got to wait for a second printing, then you got to wait even more for the story. So just grab it now while you can. And there we go. Those are all the spoiler-free thoughts I can give you. Let's go to the overview table so I can show you better than I can tell you. And here we are, ready to take a look at this amazing original graphic novel. It's called Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze. It's written by Mellow and DJ Ben Hameen, with art by DC legend Tom Mandrake. Now, before we get into this book is published by Titan Comics, and I've got to give a huge thanks to Titan for sending this review copy. But let's just take a quick look at, what we've got here. This is a graphic novel unlike anything you've seen. This is not your typical biopic book. No, this is Jimi Hendrix like you've never seen him before. This book is fully sanctioned by Authentic Hendrix, which is the company, of course, that is owned by the Hendrix estate, and basically controls all of his appearances in popular media. So let's read this real quick. This 23rd century psychedelic space odyssey sees Jimi Hendrix embark on a quest to the very center of the universe in search of a magical talisman, one powerful enough to unlock the incredible inspirational energy of his music and use it against a tyrannical intergalactic force hellbent on silencing all music and enslaving every living being in existence. So again, super crazy. Like, this book, the concept for this book is not something that I would have guessed when I first heard about it, and probably something you're not going to guess as well. So very cool stuff. Now let's go ahead and jump into it and get into an overview. I'm going to do my best not to spoil anything. We got beautiful end sheets with that art by Tom Mandrake. Look at the spaceship. Like, this is just such an out there concept of a book. By the way, just real quick, I want to do a quick comparison to just, insert book here. But just so you know, this is an oversized book. This, comparing it to a standard size Marvel trade paperback, and as you can see, it fits neatly inside. So these are oversized pages, even though it's an original graphic novel. It's not a super long story, but the art is oversized and the paper stock is beautiful. It's really heavy, glossy paper. This book is really well put together. So again, huge thanks to the team at Titan for sending it over so I can show it to you guys. So there is a foreword here by Jimi Hendrix, who is Jimmy's sister, if you're not familiar. And then we jump right in. And so I'm going to kind of just thumb through while I tell you a little bit about the story. So in this story, Jimi Hendrix is basically, let's see, can I get this with a little bit less glare? But Jimi Hendrix is basically like a fictionalized version of the Jimi Hendrix you know. So he is still a rock star, but he's a rock star, like an intergalactic rock star. So when he's going on tour, he's not just going to like insert city here. He's going to insert planet here. And we already are greeted with beautiful art by Tom Mandrake. And I want to shout out the colorist as well, because Justin Prokowich, like, man, he does masterful work, as does the letterer, Jim Campbell. All in all, this is just a masterpiece by everyone involved. But as you can see, Tom Mandrake is just a beast. Like, the likeness of Jimmy appears in so many different ways. Like, look at him in the guitar that he's got lit into flames. So anyway, basically what this book is, like, Jimi Hendrix is an intergalactic rock star, and he's traveling the world. Like, as you can see, he's kind of like, he feels dejected a little bit. Like, he feels a little bit bored with the things that he's been doing. Even though the audience loves it, he just feels like there's got to be something more out there. There's got to be a deeper sound that he can get to, and achieve. And so he's kind of, just melancholy, I guess is the best way to describe his mood. But during this tour, he's like, all right, well, I'm going to, do my best to find the sound. See, need to remember what it felt like. He wants to remember what it felt like to like be doing something new and exciting. So that's this personal journey that he's on to find like a great sound. And as he's on this journey, he basically comes across people on a planet who are being enslaved by a galactic force that I don't want to spoil. But basically, as Jimmy is on this search for himself and a sound like that, a mission that seems very self-serving on its face, he decides to take up this cause of people who, it's not like these are his hometown people. It's not a Moses mission, if you will. But he sees injustice and he's like, nah, we're not going to stand for this injustice. And so he kind of joins the movement on the ground already in progress, kind of similar to, Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. Like, it's not necessarily that Jimmy's the chosen one, but Jimi did choose to take action. And so over the course of the, I think it's 4 chapters. I don't know. I can't remember. But over the course of the book, you basically get him taking action. You learn more about the movement that is taking place on the ground. And eventually things come to a head and they resolve in a way. And again, I don't want to spoil anything. So the beauty of this book, there are a ton of Easter eggs. If you're not familiar, DJ Ben Hameen is a DJ. And so there are a ton of like musical references in this script. By the way, if you want to learn more about DJ Ben Hameen and the energy and inspiration behind this project, then check out my interview with him. It's on the channel. It's live now. It's not behind a paywall or anything, so you can watch the whole video. But basically, what I love about this book is that, and I said as much in my interview, but this book, it's not what you would expect from like a biography comic. Like, this book takes the Jimi Hendrix and introduces him in a way that you don't. And so it makes you like really want to seek out like who was the real guy, like what types of things like did he do. There are sort of Easter eggs in here about his early days, like with, sort of traditional black artists, R&B artists. There's a Miles Davis stand-in that makes an appearance in this book. There are all sorts of musical references from Outkast to Kendrick Lamar to Digital Underground. Like, there's a lot in here. So if you're a music fan, if you're a Jimi Hendrix fan, this is like a must buy, I would say. Let's just stop for a second and appreciate this art. Like, I don't know. There's not too many things I can say about it, but Tom Mandrake is just a master. This is that same spread that we saw on the end sheets, by the way. But you see, Jimi in this book is very much like a revolutionary. Like, he's inspiring people into action, whether they are humans or humanoid creatures or just straight up aliens. Like, he's a revolutionary figure. And I think that's the coolest part about the portrayal of Jimi Hendrix in this book. And as far as extras, we got plenty of them. There's character designs in here. You can see Tom Mandrake's style. Like, he goes straight to pencil, and it's like his rough pencils look like finished art. Like, that is crazy. Vehicle designs and concepts, creatures. So you get a lot of cool extras. I mean, look how many pages of extras are still left. This spread from pages 2 and 3, which is just amazing. There are so many like hidden details. There's a Jimi Hendrix right there and a reflection. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff. I kind of breeze by it because I want you to be able to get this book and enjoy it yourself. The cover price on it is only $29.99, and it's available everywhere right now. So you can call your local comic shop. They can place it on special order. You can run to Barnes & Noble or Amazon. Like I said, pretty much everywhere comics are sold, this book's available. In case you wanted to see like what the binding is like, it's a glued binding. Well, it's actually sewn because you can see the threads in here, but I don't see a ribbon that it is sewn or glued to. So it's interesting. It's a thin book. The pages lay flat really well. I'm almost a little bit worried about the binding, but it doesn't seem to be coming loose at all. So cool stuff. Like I said, a well put together book. I love the fact that it's oversized. It is just as tall, if not a little bit taller, than a Marvel omnibus. And of course, do I have one nearby? I do. So let's quick size comparison. It's about the same height as a Marvel omnibus. And I don't know if you can tell from this angle, but it actually is a little bit wider. The pages are just a tad bit wider than the pages of a Marvel omnibus. So really cool stuff. But that was Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze. There's not enough good things that I can say about this book. I think things that stand out to me, like I said, just as a student of history, particularly African-American history, is the image of Jimi Hendrix that you get in this book is not your typical or stereotypical party hard, did drugs, died at 27, Jimi Hendrix. No, like this is Jimi the thinker, Jimi the man of action, Jimi the revolutionary, Jimi the inspirational figure that often is lost in the narrative that we get from the day-to-day stuff. So very, very well done. The world building in here is awesome. I want to talk more, but I don't want to spoil anything. So go ahead, grab this book. I'll leave a link in the description down below. And I'll see you in another review real soon. Till then, stay safe, stay awesome, and read something dope today. Peace.